3-0 versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
First carry now for Alex Collins. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On second down, Collins. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Patriots take over. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
And what a game he is coming off of.
Oh, unbelievable.
Absolutely, and you know how much I love the history of the game. He broke a record held by the Dutchman,
Norm Van Brocklin,
right? You got to go all the way back to 1951, and he threw for 554 yards in that game, and later won a championship as a quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles in 1960.
And now that record has been set anew.
Here we go. Grand 38.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there for New England. 62 yards. So a big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
They do.
it means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one.
He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up. They'll run for it. This is White. And he keeps finding his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Pats have taken the early lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here we go.
On the give, this is Collins running left. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Dante Hightower able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they'll have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They'll run with White. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only 3. There on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Let's go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left. This is caught at the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Josh Gordon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The numbers for Collins last week, 16 carries, 63 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They run with Collins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Pass incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here we go now. 3-19.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And his throw is incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Escapes the defender. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. John Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. That time a 9-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Josh Gordon as he heads back out there now. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
Brissett to throw on first. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go.
Throwing, Brissett. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And got his man, complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it'll work for big yardage.
A good pickup there at 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, baby.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Brissett. And that's caught by Gronk for a Pats touchdown. Rob Gronkowski with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. The return man, Chris Moore. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now Jackson on first down. And that is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Josh Gordon as he heads back out there now. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Ravens have got it. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach all game long, all practice long, every meeting. get the football. That's what they want.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put... And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, his second touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling them on the field, folks.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Josh Gordon with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.